first team is now preparing to set off. Will they manage to beat the reference time for this team time trial? We'll know in a few minutes.
Go on, guys. It's the off. It's quite a long time trial. It's not worth setting off too fast. You've got to keep your heads and stick together. Try to balance out the relays, lads. There has to be 5 at the finish. It's the time of the 5th rider that counts. Go, guys, go! Go on, guys. Keep together. Go! Go! We're coming to the first intermediate time check. Go! Go! Stay focused! You've done the best intermediate time. It's good. Be careful. Now it's more or less downhill. Watch out in the bend. You're coming to a rising false flat. Go! Go! All together! Go on! It's easier now! Go on! Up the pace! Another 10 kilometers. Keep going. Go! Go! You're coming to the second intermediate time check. We'll see if you're on schedule. Watch out. The passage through town is winding. Don't take unnecessary risks. Go on. It's the only climb on the route. Come on. Hang in there. It's not long. Just 5 more kilometers, lads. Hang on in there. Go! Go, guys! You've got to give everything now! Go! Go!
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome him warmly. His team has just won the team time trial. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. Here's the yellow jersey. Michał Kwiatkowski! It is a moment that he soon won't forget and which marks his career. Come on, let's applaud him once more. He tops the stand.
Huge congratulations for this win, guys. Our chances of victory were virtually nil. This is an outstanding performance. You beat all the favorites. Hi, guys. Let's start the briefing. We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you did. Hi, guys. Let's start the briefing for this stage. Today's route is...
De Mat done Hole. The Breton roads will put the peloton under severe pressure. The many short climbs and the narrow roads will require unflagging attention in order not to be caught off guard by the most audacious, who will find them ideal terrain to go on the attack.
Hey guys, the early part of the stage should be easy going, but after the 100th kilometer, you'll have to do your utmost to stay at the front of the peloton, because you'll be taking lots of narrow roads. It's important to be well placed.
The breakaway didn't get far. Watch out for counter moves. Breakaway over.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up. Time gap stabilized.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go. There's not much going on. Isn't there someone who wants to liven up the race with an attack?
The gap between the peloton and the escapees is stable.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily. The gap is widening. No need to panic, guys. There's nobody dangerous for the overall standings. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them. The gap between the peloton and the escapees is stable.
The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
The gap is growing. Don't worry. They're not well placed in the overall standings.
The riders will soon be passing through Châteaulin, a major centre of Breton cycling and where the Boucle de l'Aulne, around the French Cycling Cup, is organised each year.
The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race. We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometres.
The peloton is 2 kilometers from the top of the climb.
Breakaway over. We're now entering the last 20 kilometres of the race.
Okay, I'm coming to protect you. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. Ten kilometers from the finish for the head of the race. It's going to be difficult for them, especially with the short climb to the line.
He's moving on to the attack.
control of the provisional overall standings with a new rider.
He's turning the screw.
He's got his teammates riding because in front there's a rider who's dangerous to him in the overall standings.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Five kilometers for the breakaway. With a small climb, a stage victory is going to be complicated.
We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometers.
Go! 1 kilometer. Give everything right to the line. My teammate is down, but it's too close to the finish for help. Big crash in the peloton.
He will climb onto the podium to receive his jersey and a kiss from the hostesses. Here's the yellow jersey, Michał Kwiatkowski! He is in sparkling...
This result is clearly not up to my expectations. It isn't catastrophic, but when you've got victory in mind, it's... Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Tiring.
Demat dan hol ha donamat. At the end of this west to east ride across Brittany, we are likely to witness a showdown between the favourites. With a double Mur de Bretagne climb, there are real possibilities to pick up a few seconds as well as to gain a psychological ascendant over one's opponents.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up. Time gap stabilized.
In the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go.
The gap is decreasing. The peloton has not given up.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily. King of the Mountain sprint in 2 kilometers for the breakaway group.
The breakaway is losing its lead. It's going to be difficult for them. The gap between the peloton and the escapees is stable.
The gap is widening. No need to panic, guys. There's nobody dangerous for the overall standings.
The first 15 score points at the intermediate sprint. The first will pocket 20 points.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
The breakaway is unlikely to go all the way, guys. Watch out for counter moves. Guys, we're into the final kilometers of the stage. The Mur de Bretagne climb is demanding. Try to be among the first onto the slope.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race. The first Mur de Bretagne climb is over, but physical exertions are far from over because the riders will be straight onto the Côte de Saint-Mahieu.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
There are 10 kilometers left before the finish. Only 5 kilometers left for the head of the race. Last climb for the lead riders. Given their lead, they can think about victory.
the rhythm to defend the yellow jersey.
He's amongst the leading riders this year. Here's the yellow jersey. Michel. He tops the standings and will receive the traditional honors. Here's the white jersey of this Tour de France. Let's hope for his sake that things go as well in the future, but for now, he can relish the moment.
The podium is good, but I was expecting more from you. We should have won. We retain the yellow jersey. It's a perfect day. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is, you didn't prove me wrong. We retain the yellow jersey. It's today's source of comfort. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is, you didn't prove me wrong. We retain the yellow jersey. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. Today it's a...
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real Paris-Roubaix concentrate that awaits the riders today. With more than 20 kilometres of cobblestones, this stage should be to the liking of the specialists of Flandrian classics, while it should worry pure climbers, often ill at ease on this type of exercise.
lads. The race shouldn't really accelerate until after the feed zone. The first 3 sectors are too far from the others to be decisive. Still no breakaway. You're afraid of a Bordeaux or what?
The breakaway is widening the gap, but there's nobody who's a threat to the overall standings. The time gap with the head of the race is stable. The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing. We're on to the first cobbled sector of the day, Sector 15. Of course, it's far too early for the sector to be decisive, but with 1,700 meters of cobblestones, it's a fairly copious starter. The approaching sector is fairly short, only 900 meters.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The first riders are coming to the feed zone. It will be the final breathing space, because afterwards, cobblestone sectors will be coming thick and fast, all the way to the finish. Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The riders are now onto a sector that is well known to the habitués of Paris-Roubaix, from Beuvry to Orchy, a sector also called Pavé Marc Madiot, in honour of the double winner of the race.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
Go, guys. You've got to keep up the rhythm to defend the yellow jersey.
Another well-known name to be tamed by the front of the race, Mont-en-Pévèle. Contrary to the customs of April, the sector will not be 3 kilometers long, but only 900 meters. The difficulty remains high, however, as even in this shorter configuration, it is ranked as 4 stars.
The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end. The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
Last time checked with a breakaway, 1 minute. There will be no respite between the next 2 sectors, as they're only 1 kilometer apart. Perhaps the moment to make the final cut. The men at the front are now under the Confin-Pivel sector, penultimate sector of the day. There are 10 kilometres left to race, and one man has managed to get away on his own at the front of the race. Will he hold on until the end?
He's amongst the leading riders this year.
We were aiming for a top 10 place on this stage, and we failed. It's a pity. We lost the yellow jersey. It really is a bad day. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. It's a day in the...
Hello everyone! With the ascent of the Col de la Croix-Free and the formidable Col de Rome, La Colombière sequence, there is no doubt that the climbers will be in the spotlight today, and all riders will have to demonstrate their athletic talents on the steep gravel road of the Plateau de Glières.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary. The first king of the mountain summit is classified as a Category 3. There will be 2 points and 1 point to be scored at the top. The breakaway can't widen the gap. The climb of the Croix Free. Classified as first category, there will be a maximum of 10 extra points in the standings.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The breakaway is increasing its lead over the yellow jersey, but there's no worry as it contains no big guns for the overall standings. The gap with the yellow jersey is melting away. The escapees will have difficulties going all the way.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The breakaway is increasing its lead over the yellow jersey, but there's no worry as it contains no big guns for the overall standings.
Collective fall. It may create gaps. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The feed zone is nearing for the men at the front.
The first riders have reached the intermediate sprint. I don't know if it's a bluff, but the breakaway looks to be increasing the pace at the front of the race.
The Col de Rome climb has begun for the first riders. Apart from a slight ledge halfway up, the slopes are exacting throughout the climb. There will be 10 mountain jersey points for the riders first over the top.
Okay, I'll consume a feed. Okay, I'll consume a feed. Okay, I'll consume a feed. Okay, I'll consume a feed.
The riders will make a short descent before continuing the climb. The ascent to the Colombière is underway. Final ascent of the day, and it's here that the killer blow must be landed, because the descent towards the Grand Bornard shouldn't allow the positions at the summit to be changed. The first 6 riders at the top will pocket the points towards the polka dot jersey. There will be 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1 point to be gained. 1.5 minutes lead for the head of the race over the favourites.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The riders up front have a 1-minute lead on the favourites group. The gap is 1 minute between the favourites and the guy in the front.
He'll be the new polka dot jersey. He can no longer be caught today.
Here we go. The lead rider begins the descent towards the finish. He's going to have to go full pelt if he wants to win, because his chasers are right behind him. The lead rider has 30 seconds on the favourites. "10 kilometres for the front of the race. Apart from the last 3 kilometres, it's downhill."
Only 5 kilometers left for the race leaders. The red pennant is in sight for the front of the race. This is the last kilometer. Go, go! One more effort. He's attacking to catch up.
He tops the standings and will receive...
Well done, guys. We were aiming for a podium place, and you did the job. I'm satisfied. Moreover, we take the yellow jersey. It's a Hi, guys. Let's start the briefing for this stage.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. The riders are beginning an intense stage. Only 108 kilometers in the saddle, but almost 50 kilometers of that is uphill over 4 classified climbs. A profile resembling that of a roller coaster. Riders interested in the general classification will no doubt have ticked the stage as a key moment. But those with eyes on the polka dot jersey will also have big ambitions today. With 2 all-category passes on the menu, it's possible to pick up 50 points before the final climb. An opportunity not to be missed. The percentages in this second half of the Monte de Bizan climb are the steepest. They very rarely drop below 8%.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit. There's plenty of damage at the back of the peloton. It will be a long day in the saddle for those who fall behind.
A new all-category climb for the riders, the Col du Pré, with its 13.5 kilometers at an average of 7%. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey. The breakaway is increasing its lead over the yellow jersey, but there's no worry as it contains no big guns for the overall standings. After the summit, the riders will head straight onto the Corremos de Rosland climb. The race leaders begin the ascent of the Corremos de Rosland, 5.5 kilometers on an average slope of 6.5%. There will be 5, 3, 2 and 1 point to be taken for the first 5 riders at the next King of the Mountains summit.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
The lead riders are now going over the top. The breakaway increases its lead on the yellow jersey group. The breakaway is being reeled in. It will be difficult to withstand the return of the yellow jersey.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The climb towards the La Rosière ski resort is underway. Although it's long, the ascent is not that difficult when compared to the previous climbs. The riders up front have a 1-minute lead on the favourites group. The riders are onto the high percentages of the climb. No doubt the moment to try a thinning out of the opposition. "30 seconds between the breakaway and the yellow jersey. The breakaway increases its lead on the yellow jersey group. The advance of the lead group should be enough to carry it to the end. The 5-kilometer marker is in sight for the front of the race. The slope will soon become more gentle.
Only 5 kilometers left for the race leaders.
5 kilometers for the lead riders.
out on the relay. Understood. I'll take it easy, whatever happens. Okay, I'll consume the speed. I'll go full out on the relay. Understood. I'll take it easy, whatever happens.
At 3 kilometers from the finish, there are still several potential stage winners.
Okay, I'll consume a speed.
The lead rider has 30 seconds on the favourites. The front man will soon be under the red pennant. The gap isn't big, so he mustn't fade.
An attack! We've got to react! He's dangerous! The breakaway is 1 kilometer from the finishing line. He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings.
He is in sparkling form and you can clap him loudly. Here's the yellow jersey.
The podium is good, but I was expecting more from you. We should have won. Hi, guys. Let's start the briefing for this stage. It'll be a very demanding day for everyone. Several mountain passes and a summit finish await you. This is a key stage for the general classification. I hope you're in good condition. Because we've got to defend the yellow jersey. Even if defending it remains the priority, we can also consider the stage win if the Baroudeurs don't get too much of a lead. Have a good day, guys. Come on, we're aiming for victory!